Imagine what Martin Luther King thought was his biggest moment in life. I imagine a lot of us might think that he would think that it was his speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in August 1963, the March on Washington. I think perhaps it could have been the night before he lost his life, when he gave the talk at the Masonic Temple in Memphis, where he says, you know, like anybody else, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but you know, now I just want to do God's will. I've been to the mountaintop and I've looked over. I may not get there with you, but I know that we as a people will get to the promised land. It's a prophetic moment. He only has hours to live, and it's almost as if he looks beyond his own death, which is something that's almost supernatural. I think that might be his most important moment, because that's the one that plays over and over again, I think, in the minds and hearts of folks who struggle in his vein, that he saw beyond even his physical end. I think Dr. King would be very encouraged by the young people participating in this march. He would see a multiracial coalition. He would see young people thinking beyond their individual needs to embrace this collective sense of a better community, what he would call the beloved community in his last book, Where Do We Go From Here?
In elementary school, you learn about MLK, you learn how he ended racism, how he was a peaceful man, and it wasn't until like over this last summer I picked up a book called Radical King, which is a collection of MLK speeches. And reading MLK and memorizing his speeches, you realize how such of a knowledgeable, important man he was, and how he really was about change and love. So MLK helped me to understand what love is and what nonviolent direct action is, and how it can work effectively, because it has worked effectively for him. He got the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. And today's march is an example of MLK's nonviolent direct action strategy. We are here creating tension in the nation's capital. We are here creating conflict. We're creating a disturbance in the nation. We are here to raise awareness, because we don't have to be violent. All we have to do is raise our voices up and appeal to the morality of this nation, and we can make change. And MLK helped me realize that, and that's why I'm here.
I also attended the Women's March, and we were talking about earlier today how there hasn't been a lot of marches in our lifetime that were as big as the Women's March and as the March for Our Lives. And this kind of is incredibly comparable to the MLK March and his I Have a Dream speech. And that's what I kind of think of, like just being at the reflecting pool and seeing all these people. You definitely feel the same spirit that the people felt back then.
The characteristic of MLK that really impacted me more than anything else was his fearlessness. Being able to go travel the country and give these marches and give these speeches, knowing the consequences that would come towards him or his family, has motivated me and given me that type of fearlessness. Now, whenever I do things, I know I really have nothing to lose, right? So I give it my 100%, and I try to imitate that same type of energy that MLK had back then.